When you left football for those years, everyone was surprised, caught off. Like, you were what, like 5 years, 6 years in the league?
I was 5 years in.
And you leave football. I think a lot of people, the perception was you turned into like this hippie guy, right?
I did.
Right. So you turned into this hippie guy. You learn about Aquarius and astrology and shit. Was there anything else spiritual that you went through during that time that helped shape you?
Yoga, meditation, holistic healing, like all of that. All of it came in that time period. And it surprised me. I didn't know I was a hippie until I ended up in this town in Australia called Byron Bay, and I just felt
ended up there.
So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny where
I just ended up in Australia.
I had this
teleported over there.
I had a friend who right after I retired, she said she was traveling to Samoa,
right.
And so I was like, shit, I don't got nothing to do. Let me go with you. And so we went to Samoa, and then we went to Fiji, and then she started tripping. So I was like, bye. And
like tripping on hallucinogenics, or just freaking out on you?
Just acting like Anyways, yes. And so I was like, I don't need this. And I was like, okay, what am I gonna do now? I'm in the middle of the Pacific, and then I was like, oh shit, Australia is like really close, and I want to go back there because I had a good time. And so I flew back to Sydney, hung out in Sydney for a couple of days, and then I got this idea of this town called Byron Bay that I always wanted to go to. And I never really been on a Greyhound except from San Diego to El Centro. And so and in Australia, the Greyhound is like, everybody travels in a Greyhound. So I took a Greyhound from Sydney to this town in Byron Bay, and I thought I'd be there for a couple of days because I wanted to photograph a lighthouse that was there. And ended up staying there for a couple of months, and I learned there that I was a hippie.
Wow.
And then from there on, I came back and started doing hippie stuff. I became a vegetarian, started doing yoga.
Are you still vegetarian?
No, not anymore.
You gotta eat meat, man.
After I retired, I moved back to Texas, and it's too hard.
Yeah, with that barbecue.
Yeah.
Some of that barbecue in Texas, man. I had some pork belly that was like life changing a couple weeks ago. I was like, why can't they make it like that in California?